My goodness, it is good to be back. I mean, it's only been like a week, but still, I have been itching to keep playing, especially since we entered Age 4 recently, and I really want to get some mining done, and I really want to start setting up some stuff. So the first thing we got to do is go mining basically everywhere for the new ores we have. First things first, we got to upgrade our prospector, which this time costs a bit of blaze rods. But it'll let us find 2 of our new overworld ores, which is silicon and certus quartz, which I need badly. Oh my god, hold on. Did I see who I think I just saw? I can't believe it. It's Mordecai! He's alive! It's Mordecai! Oh my god. I thought I had completely lost him. Now that's some crazy stuff. Except that we still haven't found any ores, but I mean, it's neat that we found our horse at least. Unfortunate thing is that we'll have jetpacks before you know it, so honestly, it's not all that crazy. So we're going to make a quick intermediary upgrade for our pickaxe and upgrade the head to obsidian. Alright, the stats are going to go up a little bit and we're going to lose a little bit of durability, but it's going to be worth it because then we'll be able to mine the new ores in the nether. Alright, we're smelting up our first batch of cobalt and ardite in the smelter and we're going to turn it all into manual for powerful tools. Alright, our manual is done. Almost being ready, and so we're gonna make all of our main tool parts out of it. All right, tool upgrades in hand, and we're off on another mining trip. Ooh, now what is this? Silicon samples, okay. And I think we're low enough to be able to possibly detect it if it was here. Yep. I should have known that these things are always in the middle of the chunk that they spawn in. Now the question is, how big are these silicon veins? And how much silicon will it net me? Let's see, 3 stacks. I hope that's enough. Now last up on the list is mixed crystals, which I have no idea what it looks like on the surface, but that'll get me certus quartz, which by the way, I can't make a storage system with yet. So now based on past trends that I only realized just now, this piece of quartz ores in the bottom left corner of the chunk. So if I go up here to 8 in the chunk, yep, assorted quartz. All right, let's see it. Oh, this vein's actually pretty big. Okay, I got a lot of nether quartz, a good amount of certus, and a little bit of charged certus. Probably gonna need more veins of this. Wait, no, I just realized this is like the old version of AE2, so I can actually duplicate the certus quartz. Oh, never mind. All right, home sweet factory. All right, so I've looked into all the advancements and stuff, and we've got a long road ahead of us. But the amount of silicon we have should be enough. Now, for the amount of creepers I'd killed, you'd think I'd have more gunpowder than 13. Now, that gunpowder, even though we don't have a lot, is going to be really useful. Even though I only need 1 TNT, I made 2 just in case. But anyone who noticed the iron and TNT in my inventory and has played some of these mod packs before, or any mod pack really, it's kind of in all of them now, knows that we're going to be starting pneumatic craft. And that starts with blowing up a bunch of iron. I know it sounds crazy and it looks crazy, and you think I might be doing something really stupid here, but 80% of that iron is turned into compressed iron, which is what we need to start the mod. Alright, so first things first, pressure tubes. All love crafting hoppers, especially when we need like a jillion of them. Alright, that should be enough parts. Let's also not forget the air compressor. Alright, thank God we have the necessary leather to make 2 liquid compressors. Alright, liquid compressors check. And now we should be Gucci to set up the basics of our pneumatic craft setup. So starting with the pressure chamber, which there we go. Next up we can throw both of these things on the ground and connect them up like this. So these liquid compressors can take gasoline and kerosene, which I will set up eventually sometime this episode in a second distillation tower for the gasoline. But for now, we're just gonna run this on diesel because I don't want to like overload the machine here for now. We're gonna have both the compressors working, and I'm gonna have to wait for this pressure to go all the way up. And I'm gonna get a couple levers to have the gas generators work on redstone signals because I don't want to blow up my base. Well, don't want to blow up my chamber. Who would have guessed that I needed more dyes? Anyways, new machine, the plastic mixer. What does it run on? Oh, it runs on temperature. Okay. Oh my god, these lava monsters are always annoying me like this. Okay, hold on, I have no food on me. There we go. At least I'm dead. I'm dead, aren't I? Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, the Nether's crawling with those magma monsters. I think we saw a few of them when I went to mine the Corallium gems, but I didn't think they'd be like a huge issue considering they only spawn like at lava, and also the fact that I'm not going to be in the Nether very often, but they somehow are incredibly annoying in the Nether. All right, we're going to have the mixer. We're going to put it in the ground here, right here, and we're going to open up a little hole next to it to put the lava, which should heat up the machine. Yes, see, temperature's going up. And now if I put a bunch of dye powders, I should be able to just make... Okay, I think I need to melt the plastic first. All right, there we go. Yeah, there's molten plastic in here. I'm sure, yeah, we've got a good amount of the stuff, and I am going to need a good amount of molten plastic. But now I should theoretically be able to dump it in here. And there we go. We get to pick what we produce. So first of all, we want green plastic, and we're going to chuck 3 of those into the pressure chamber with 3 normal plastics, 3 compressed iron on my Jesus. Yeah, this base is like most definitely one of the most unsafe things I've ever built, but it's not a huge deal considering I'm gonna have power wires eventually one day. All right, the next thing that we will be cooking up is a UV light box to process all of our PCBs. This thing is going to need pressure to function, so we're gonna hook it up to the system like this, and then we throw in our PCB and wait. Oh, it emits light and everything. Oh, we're gonna wait. Oh wow, that's fast. As much as I dislike having to build more immersive engineering stuff and the fact that I've already built plenty, I am going to have to make that second distillery tower, so while we're waiting for the PCBs to end up cooking, then I will be doing that. Alright, second distillery tower is now set up. Let's hook it up to the diesel so that gets fully drained. And once all the diesel's done draining out, we can hook this up and hope it's naphtha. And now once it turns daytime and we actually have the power to run these things, then we're going to be producing kerosene, gasoline, kerosene, and something else I forgot. Oh my goodness. What blew up? Okay, it was one of the compressors. We're gonna go ahead and disable that because, yep, we're sitting at 5.3 bars of pressure. Okay, hold on. Do I still have the stuff in my inventory? I don't. Okay, hold on. Is it in my miscellaneous? Yes, it is. Okay, we'll leave a bit of that pressure. 5 bars, 4.9. Yep, we're good now. We're safe. Yep. Well, we lost a compressor. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And we've also got our first PCB ready, which we probably won't be able to use right now because we need to etch it. I'm also going to need quite a few of these things. All right, so now there we go. Yeah, the third item is lubricant, which we are going to be storing because I don't really have a use for it at the moment. All right, now, if I remember correctly how to build these things, it's literally just this. And then we build like 3 layers up, I think. All right, let's start piping out some of it. All right, now we can finally store all the lubricant that we've got. This should show up as like a dark yellow. Yes, sir. Just make sure. Yeah, lubricant, kerosene, gasoline. All right. Now that all of that is dealt with, we can also grab a bunch of plastic off of here and start making tons of colored plastic with it because that's what we need. All right, for once that I actually need creepers, I'm going to need more gunpowder to continue. And of course, in all normal logic, there are no creepers to be found anywhere. There's a creeper. Come on. Show me the gunpowder. That's one. There's another one, and he dropped the gunpowder. We're done. All right, let's throw in our next recipe. A water bucket and 2 of each of these, and we're going to get a bucket of etching acid. All right, so with this etching acid bucket and at least the 2 PCBs that I have, we can just drop that in there and then drop the PCBs, and after 5 minutes, these things will be... Hold on, I'm going to cover it, actually. After 5 minutes, I'll be able to pick up some actual PCBs. Actually, I've got an idea. So since this thing doesn't actually require heat, and I was just wrong, what if I just hook it up to the plastic output? Does it fill up with plastic over time? Oh, it does. Okay, see, that's called a smart solution. All right, I'm getting a little impatient, so it's time to get some of these speed upgrades and crank up the speed a bit on that etching machine. Oh, now that is fast. Okay, it is losing pressure pretty quickly, so we're gonna have to turn up the power. Now, while all of that is going, I'm gonna be making an Amadron tablet, which I've just realized that I'm going to need to charge. All right, GPS acquired. I'm just going to need some of that gray plastic left, and then it's just pressed iron and redstone for the rest of these things. Now, one more thing that I need is 7 pieces of gray plastic. And now the plastic mixer has become mostly obsolete for now. Well, we're done using it for the time being, because we can now craft our Amadron tablet. And now I need a purging station. That should be pretty easy. Alright, all the normal PCBs we need are done cooking up inside of the light box, so now we're going to do that in there. And all the while, we have all the transistors and capacitors we need to finish assembling the remaining PCBs. This should be the charge pad. There we go. And we'll hook this up to the power, which I should definitely shut off before it explodes again and I have to make another compressor, because I don't think I have the leather for it. You know what? We're not doing liquid compressors. We're just gonna do 2 solid fuel ones, and that's gonna be it. Pretty sure I have like a chest full of coal somewhere. There it is. Alright, all the PCBs are done. We only need 8 in total. And then I need to go grab some Certus quartz, and I need to get back as fast as possible as to not blow up my compressors again. There it is. 8 printed circuit boards. There you go. The next step on the list is going to be to make an assembly line, which right now, let's just turn these back on so we can generate a little bit more pressure, because I know that the assembly requires a good amount of it. And we're probably going to put it like here, but it's going to require a good amount of colored plastic sheets, which should not be a huge problem. 32 blue plastic, or at least just a lot of blue plastic. The rest of it should come normally, but we are missing an LV drill core from Immersive Engineering. Sometimes my idiocy amazes me. Ignore the fire, but we've got, yep, the pressure tubes have broken again. And the UV thing, okay. Hopefully I don't need another one. I'm gonna go ahead and get more pipes to refill this and place it in a way that I can put the controller down. Alright, so Amadron, what can I sell? I can sell the lubricant. I need to sell something from this to be able to get some stabilized metal in order to buy the assembly programs. So now I should be able, there we go, sell a bunch of lubricant. Oh, I actually don't have that much. I think I only need 1 assembly program. I can't remember if it's the drill or the laser. It is the drill, so I can turn pearl blocks into presses. Yeah, it's all the drill, so I can turn different blocks. I'm assuming all of the biotite, purple, and pearl are from the end, which is where we're going, by the way, after this. First, the controller. Then we make a bunch of these cylinders, which I'm going to need more cannons for. Go, the cylinders are done, which means I should be pretty good to build the rest of the assembly unit. So from what I've seen, I only need the drills. If I just build this outwards to here, and where's the assembly controller? There it is. And I just put down the platform, and I put down the drill, and I'm gonna need the IO unit that I forgot. Thank goodness I had a spare hopper. Alright, it's an assembly IO unit. There we are. And then from there, if I go check my chest out by over here, my delivery chest, there we go, we should have our drill program. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the chest. I'm going to still keep it as the delivery one, but I'm going to put it over here. So we have our output. Amadron tablet, set that as the output. Put the drill program in here. And now we're ready to process the stuff that we get from the end, which is the next place we're going. Okay, we're going to have to handle this with care, but we're going to take 4 diamonds out of here, and we're going to make 2 sets of armor-piercing ammo for the minigun. Okay, with the minigun charge, we're gonna work on making our Eyes of Ender now, and then getting to the end. Alright, we're gonna go hunt some more Endermen, and hopefully we'll have enough Ender Pearls by the end of the night to head out to the end. Alright, well we have all the Ender Pearls. The last one is in the smelting here, but I mean we have enough to fill the portal, but not to find the stronghold in case any of the eyes break, but I'm pretty sure you can loot Ender Pearls. The next thing we need is Blaze Powder, which I believe I have run out of. Alright, that was significantly more painful than it needed to be, but we are back with a bunch of blaze rods and a lot of important stuff. We got a bunch of diamonds too. Hopefully this is going to be enough to get me to the stronghold, which inside I can then loot. I have no clue. I should probably make armor actually, now that I think of it. Now we're going to make it out of black quartz because it's slightly stronger than iron, and hopefully that'll be enough. Yeah, we're going to be bringing stakes into the battle. That's how serious I am about this. None of that carrot nonsense. There's 12 pearls, 12 blaze powder. Let's get ready to go. While I was waiting around, I realized that knightly armor was going to be way stronger, so we're using that instead. And now it's time to send off our first eye and head over. Okay, 2 of my pearls broke, but I should be right on it. Like, well, I mean right next to it, basically. Because it's in the ocean. Of course, it's always in the ocean. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, it's literally right here. Okay, never mind. On the edge of the ocean. Yeah, this place is messed up, dude. What is this? World Gen? I mean, there's a bunch of corallium down here, at least. Not that I need it. Alright, let's seal away all of that. We had two ender pearls already inside, 2 eyes already inside of the thing, so... Here we go. Ender Dragon time. Hopefully he hasn't been changed too much. So first things first, I'm going to make a safe passage up to the main island like this. Okay, so now here's where the minigun comes into play. Please don't hit me with your charge. Okay, I'm out of range for the rest of these. Oh, okay, hold on. I probably should have brought bottles. Damn. Definitely should have brought bottles. The dragon's breath is a little too valuable. Forgot how aggressive the dragon is in 1.12. Like, god damn. Chill. Let me go up the pillars, dude. All the crystals are broken. And let's go ahead and switch to armor-piercing ammo now. Probably didn't have to make that second cartridge of ammo, but still. Hey, it's coming down to perch. Alright, time to die. And let's go ahead and take the egg. The dragon is now dead. And we have access to the rest of the end, which is going to net us all the materials we need to finally enter the space age. And to be honest, I'm just excited as you guys to see what's going to happen next.